Okay, so Naomi, when I zoom in here, you'll see what I was calling out during the warm-up about your inside elbow. Watch how on the drive here it's bent and then it straightens. It's bent and then it straightens right here. Keep that inside elbow bent when you can, because that prevents you putting too much pressure on that inside arm, which is really only responsible for feathering.
Margaret, stay towards me a little longer.
Lily, watch out for those early catches. I know we were on the build here. Try and stay synced up on that recovery. Really happy with all the square ups on starboard side here. Careful we're not skying those blades though. Emma, still seeing a little bit of a dip with your hands at the catch here. Be careful of not flip catching. Most of the time you're not flip catching, but occasionally you do. And also watch out for that dig. You can see it pretty evident in this video here. You have a really powerful drive, especially during these builds and during the pieces, but when we're flip catching or dropping our hands at the catch or digging, those are all things that prevent us from applying that power effectively. Lily, I want you to also watch your blade here. It's occasionally skying a little bit, so keep an eye out for that. Make sure we're not dropping our hands into that catch. We want to keep them nice and level. Lower them slightly out of the finish. Keep them level, and then raise them when we get to those last couple inches of the slide on the recovery. Catches look good here, nice and in time. Occasionally, starboard side, you're a bit early on Beth. When we're doing these builds as part of the warm-up, it's a really good time to get locked into following the person in front of you and following the blades in front of you. So Lisa, you did a really good job matching up with Beth. Occasionally, you'll let the water bully you at that catch, but just be a little more aggressive with it. Just get that blade in, bully the water back, and we'll solve that issue. You guys were very nice and set here. There were a couple of strokes where you could kind of see with this view that Riley, Lily, and Maddie, you guys were occasionally skying those blades, occasionally kind of getting out of sync with that set.
This one's for Jay.
That's okay, just watch out for it. This was one of our first starts. Half press, half speed. Alright, here's another half press, half speed. Nice. Slow-mo, Naomi, Maddie, and Sophie, just a little bit of a dig on there. That's okay, usually see a little bit of that on the start anyway, because we're just going nuts with it. Notice how you're not fully square, Naomi. That's why I'm telling you, you got to get that blade square, especially during the start. You've got to get it square. Because if we're not going in fully square, we're not being as effective. You're also out early a little bit here. Get that blade square, get it in. Nice. Bow forward a little bit late on that one. Really nice power into the blade, Naomi. Bend in that blade. I love to see it. Get square, get square, get square. I would like to see more backsplash from Maddie and from Sophie on these strokes. Get up there and be aggressive with it. Not dramatic, but aggressive. But these finishes are nice and snappy. Good, that one was not bad. Alright, got another one here. Yep, see Naomi, gotta get that blade square. Be nice and composed. Don't get frantic with it. Don't get panicked. I think this one you got a little bit like whoop, and lost a little bit there. But this boat is really, really moving. Nice. And there's my foot. All right. I think this one was the
Square in
3/4
with me.
press,
You know what to do.
the 3/4 speed full press with a high 5. Let's make sure we're fully buried when we're sitting up and getting ready for attention, and then so that when we do hear that attention, we get that blade buried. Especially at the start, we need to be aggressive with our finishes, aggressive with our hands out quick, and aggressive with our catches. Those are the 3 most important things. We're obviously all going to be getting up that slide quick, but if our hands aren't fast, if our catches are not aggressive, and if our finishes are not strong and aggressive and snappy, then we're going to just make it feel messy. So I took some video of this first piece here of the bow. Notice how we're not moving backwards at all. We're getting a really nice ratio here with some nice power. We're only at a 26, but we're getting some really, really nice movement from the boat here, really nice ratio. This is what we're going for. This ratio is what we should be setting ourselves up for during 2Ks, even race day. There's no need for a 30 or 32 to feel frantic or to feel stressful or to get panicky. We can have this ratio at higher rates. Y'all are moving really, really nice here. Riley, watch out for those hands coming up out of the finish. You had really strong finishes today, but I don't want to see those hands come up out of the finish. I want to see them come down. Gotta get those tap downs. And by tap down, I just mean not letting your hands go up out of the finish. If anything, they should be going down. Naomi, if you watch your handle heights here during the recovery, they're a little bit high at the catch and a little bit low at the finish. So just look out at your blade and kind of compare it. Lily, I want you to do the same, and Emma, I want you to do the same on starboard side. When we get those views of down the boat, just look at where your blade is and where your handle is and see if you're in line with everybody else on your side and see if there's any adjustments that you can make. It's hard to do that when we're in the boat in stern because you guys can't see as many blades as bow 4 can. But that's why video is so great, because you can kind of be like, well, okay, I need to make those adjustments, see if that does anything to benefit the set next time we row. Naomi, you were skying your blade occasionally here. Love those early square ups. Maddie, make sure you're squaring up early as well. Emma, I could do with a bit more backsplash. Careful we're not skying that blade. We want to keep the blade as close to the water as possible so that we don't have to go too far to get the blade in. Lost the set a little bit here, but we get it back.
I actually feel like we are going.
Wait, can you say that Beth is slow again? I'm recording now. Okay, are we ready? Love you! Okay, so we're doing this one 3/4 speed, full press, high 5, settle 5. On the settle 5, let's settle to a 30, 31, somewhere in there. Okay? Let's be calm, composed, and controlled with power, all right? Oh my god, every time. I mean, they're all for Gayatri, but let's do another one for Rosalind and Reggie.
I think we need to do some more practice with starts. I'd like for that to be a focus on Thursday at the race course, on Friday at the race course when we're doing our practice row. I'd like you guys to get plenty of starts in, also for the warm-up race day, because I think on those first start 5, we're a little bit frantic as far as timing. The power is definitely there. Y'all get the boat moving, that is for sure. I like this settle, but we kind of lose those quick catches. Let's make sure when we settle we're doing it together and we don't lose those catches. You guys have really nice backsplashy catches when you're focused on it and when you're in time with each other. All right, so Maddie, looking at your outside elbow here, you see how it's kind of pointing down? It's pointing towards Lily's feet every time you come into the finish. That's what we want to avoid. I want it pointing out at Lily's blade. I want it pointing out at the tree line. I want it pointing out of the boat rather than down into the boat. Keep thinking about it. I know it clicked for you on Sunday, but let's keep thinking about it. Keep that elbow up. So Elisa, I know I told you to slow your hands down out of the finish on steady state, but here, if you watch Beth's hands, since we're at a 30-32, we want fast hands at higher rates rather than a fast slide. So I really like the length that you've got with Beth, but make sure we've got a little bit faster hands when we're at higher rates so that you don't have to compensate or so that you don't lead the rest of the boat to compensate with the slide. Let's have fast hands, and this goes for everybody. Fast hands at higher rates is better than a fast slide because a fast slide is what makes that boat go in the wrong direction. All right, so Lily, I want you to watch your head, Lily and Maddie, versus look at Naomi's head and Elisa's head and how they're not wobbling back and forth. And it's fine, it's not that big of a deal, but Lily, I think you're losing some reach because your head is kind of leading you to not lean forward, it's leading you to lean back. So watch out for that. Where your head goes and where your head faces and which direction it's moving at any given time is kind of leading what your body does. So watch out for that.